My name is Jamie Marner, and it's a real honor and privilege to really host this tournament. It means a lot. It's about you guys on the sideline there. It's about the charities. It's about the town of Westfield. It's about people like Roberto Clemente, who you're going to hear about today. And just really want to thank you. We've got a lot of folks here. We're going to run through the opening ceremonies, and then we're going to play some great day of baseball. Last night we had 3 great games, and we've got a hell of a tournament ahead of us.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this 10th anniversary of this great event. And so I want to recognize the Knights for their great work, and want to welcome all the players, have fun today and this weekend, and remind you to take it easy on the umpires. They are volunteers, they're not getting paid. So, good luck, everyone.
And since 2004, this tournament has been hosted over Memorial Day weekend for that very special reason, to remind us what our purpose are as human beings, baseball players, Americans, and members of this towns and all of our local towns. Some would say, why did we need a tournament in Westfield? The short answer is my wife and I were tired of traveling to other towns and spending hours going back and forth. But putting that aside, anybody who's ever played in the Montville tournament will know what I'm talking about. So at some point, I'd like you to remember and take time out from eating hot dogs and having a good time to go and take a knee at the foot of the American flag, where the plaque that was dedicated after the second tournament, okay, in service to those who've given their life to their country. Give thanks to God for those men and women that enabled us to be here today. And we're remembering a great citizen who was a citizen of many communities, Roberto Clemente, who also gave his life in the service of his countries, plural. And we'll be hearing more about that today.
Welcome Julio Pavon, the president and founder of Latino Sports.
That was Clemente. I am so proud to have come here today and that you have honored this number 21. And that's why I honor it, because I want all baseball players today to perhaps remember that there was a guy who never said no to signing an autograph, didn't charge for signing an autograph, and will go out of his way to make some guy's life a little bit better. His last quote was, "If a day goes by that you didn't do something to help improve the life of a person in this planet, then you wasted your day on Earth."
Quickly recognize Mark Zoller.
And on behalf of the umpires, thanks for volunteering your time. I'm also a past grad Knight of the Westfield Knights, and you see all the great things we do. I want to recognize all the men and women who are actively serving or are retired. And just a quick fact, young man, there's only 2 million men and women in the United States who are in the active military. There's 375 million of us who live in this country. So think about that. Less than 1% of the people in our country protect us to have a tournament like this. So when you get home today or over the weekend, pick up the phone, call your grandfather, your grandmother, your aunts, your uncles, anybody who's military, and thank them for their service, for the opportunity to play in this charity tournament this weekend. They will be so happy. And if you see a man or a woman in uniform on the street at any time, say, "Thank you for serving the country." Because of them, we have the opportunity to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. We're proud to have Ron Greenberg from Liam's Room.
Liam's Room was founded about 5 years ago by the McNamara family. Some of you in town know the McNamaras. They have a couple of boys, and they lost their little boy Liam. Liam's Room was named after him. And out of a terrible tragedy, they decided to do something really sweet, really nice for children. And they built a special hospital room at Overlook Hospital. It's a beautiful thing. It makes what's typically a lousy experience a little bit better, a little bit easier. And they've also raised a lot of money the organization has to train doctors and nurses and other people in hospitals to help deal with parents and help families who are dealing with an illness where a child may not recover and may not be able to come home.
Mary Jackson's here to speak about the Paul L. Jackson Fund.
I represent the Paul Jackson Fund. It's a charity of last resort. It provides financial assistance to families who are in a financial crisis because of a long-term illness or disability. So for 18 years, Paul made it his life's work to help other people. Sadly, 3 years ago, Paul died. But before he passed away, he asked his family and friends to continue the mission of the Paul Jackson Fund. So we are now working diligently to do what Paul did, to help other people in a financial crisis because of an illness or a disability.
I thought it was important that we recognize some teachers, coaches, administrators, people that help youth every day. I couldn't think of a finer human being than Dennis McCaffrey, the head coach of Cranford and principal of the Lincoln School. The Westfield Knights of Columbus Youth Service Award winners to those who are ever excelling in service of our youth. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good morning. It gives me great pleasure this morning to be able to stand in front of you and introduce Brian Chapman as this year's recipient of this award. I've known Brian for a number of years, and at all times, Brian has always done for others. Just like the coaches that are standing here today, Brian volunteers a lot of his time serving as a baseball coach for the Cranford Little League. Brian also serves as the Milburn head baseball coach of the high school. A little while ago, you heard about Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente tried to do something for each person, or tried to have an impact on someone every day. I'm fortunate I've known Brian Chapman for 25 years, and each and every day that I've had the opportunity to deal with him, he's had a positive impact on me. And I'm sure anybody who's ever run into Brian will have the same feelings. So it gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce this year's award to Brian Chapman.
Thank you very much. Speaking of service, I'm going to do all of you players here a service right now, and I'm going to make this extremely brief because I know you're ready to go. I can see it. I'm just going to leave you with 3 rules to live by this summer as you go through your travel seasons here. Number 1, they're all big. And by that I mean every game you play this summer, you should treat with respect. Don't worry if it's this team or that team. Every game counts the same, and if you approach it that way, I think you'll be more successful. Number 2, don't be afraid to fail, because baseball is a game about failure and dealing with failure. There's an old adage that even a Hall of Fame player is going to make an out 6 or 7 times out of every 10 at-bats. And the reality is that the way you deal with those failures is going to shape you as a player. And the 3rd rule, probably the most important, is make sure that you enjoy every minute that you get to play this great game of baseball. Play with passion and enjoy yourselves. Respect your coaches, respect your teammates. Have a great tournament, fellas. Thank you very much.
We're getting close to our first pitch. But before that, we have Marie Bugler, Mark Paradis is going to come to the mound. If the head coaches from each team could come to circle him.
Thank you, Mark. Oh, that paint is black. Beautiful. All right, play ball. Good luck, everybody.